scriptures, standards and principles, and you go out there and do it, and something happen to you, it don't matter what it is. Anything.
You putting that on your kids,
That's your own damn fault. What?
You putting that on your kids because most kids deviate from what their parents tell them. It's no different.
If they go out and deviate and they get caught up in some shit, they deserve it. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Hey, no, you
because most women go out here and be a don't mean I gotta relax my wrath or how I feel about it. They're gonna get the same work.
Hold up. So let me just say this real quick. A lot of people, I say maybe half the ladies on the panel get it and the other don't, right? But I'm gonna just try to put this in a situation where it's two men so y'all can dig it. Pause. So just like we have those uncomfortable conversations with our sons, right? Even though they should not have to worry about this shit. Most of us, mothers and fathers, we have that conversation. They get to that driving age. We tell them how they're supposed to conduct themselves during like a traffic stop and all of the things that they have to worry about. It's not their fault, right? They should not have to deal with that. The world is fucked up for being like that, but we still tell them in order to protect them and say, look, turn your make sure all the lights is on, make sure your windows is rolled down, make sure you don't have a lot of movement when they're walking up to you. We tell them all these things. It's not fair for them to have to deal with that, but we know what the world is like. It's the same thing. It's no different. Protect yourself. If you don't, then you're going to be faced with these terrible outcomes that we talk about.
All right. So what I want to say is, if you a mother out here and you just let your daughter do whatever the fuck you want, I hope that God show grace to these young girls that get caught up in some bullshit because they don't know what the hell they doing. They not being led the right way. But the penalty would be on their mothers. But if you a mom out here, like this woman said, her mother was a minister. So she had some standards. And she's still going out here to be a hoe. So if you going out here doing that and you get a disease or you get abused or you get sexually violated, you deserve that shit. I hope you get what's coming to you. And I hope whenever it happens, it humbles you so you can go back to your mama, which is a minister, and say, forgive me for what I done. I was wrong. I got the penalty for my actions, and I'm ready to turn my life around. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing about the word of God. When you when you deviate from his word, there's stories in the Bible where he chastised his own people the most. The people that he gave his word to, they felt it the most because they fucking knew better. So if you got a minister in the household telling you not to do this, and you go out there and you get something happen to you, that's what your ass get because you fucking know better.
Name me one person in the Bible besides Jesus that was perfect and didn't sin or do what they wanted to do because it's human nature to do so. Even you're not perfect.
Go read your Bible.
I just want to say I disagree with you, Bruce. I don't think nobody deserves to get sexually.
You ain't got to agree with him. That's just my personal view.
That's just extreme.
That's over the top, bro. I would never go out my way to say a woman deserves.
I'm not asking nobody to agree with me. Yeah. If you deviate, especially if you come from under the burden that has scriptures, standards and principles, and you go out there and do it, and something happen to you, it don't matter what it is. Anything.
You putting that on your kids,
That's your own damn fault. What?
You put that on your kids because most kids deviate from what their parents tell them. It's no different.
If they go out and deviate and they get caught up in some shit, they deserve it. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So then if they get raped, because that's basically kind of what you said about getting assaulted. So if that happens, then don't go to the police. Don't try to press no charges. Just go ahead and have that conversation with your kid.
What is anything that I gotta say?
And this is the consequence of you not listening.
So when I was in the military, hold on, listen to what I'm saying. When I was in the military, I had to train soldiers not to go to certain places out here in Korea where they were drugging them and raping them and stuff, or graping them. I told them if they go down that motherfucker and they get caught up, they not only are they gonna get whatever done to them, they also gonna come back and get an Article 15 for it. We're gonna take care of them. We're gonna still feed them. We're gonna still make sure that they squared away. We're still gonna give them corrective training. That
Those aren't
just
your
because
kids.
just because you get penalized or consequences don't mean that I can't love you. So all this shit about just because I say they deserve it don't mean I can't love them. So you getting two things twisted. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Two things can.
you're speaking out of line.
How am I speaking out of line?
To fact to say that somebody gets assaulted is to the extreme and out of line. I don't care how you justify that.
Did you hear what I first said?
Darwin, hold on. Because when I said your kids, like you bring up Korea, those are not your kids. It is your job to protect them. And
Yeah,
like you said,
they were my kids.
if they go, no. If they go out of your line of protection, what you're saying is whatever happens, right? So what I'm trying to say is, since you're going to the extreme, they're saying that they deserve it, then you don't need to go to the police. You don't need to do anything. You just need to have that conversation and say, see, this is what happens when you don't listen to me. Now suck it up and deal with it. This is the consequence.
Okay, look.
Don't take them to
And
therapy.
I heard you the
Don't
first
do
time.
any of that.
I heard you the first time and I heard you the second time. Just because they deserve to have consequences and be penalized for their actions don't mean the person the person who offended them don't deserve to be penalized for their actions as well. So when you're trying to say just because they deserve it for putting themselves in harm's way, the person that's harming them don't deserve to be held accountable too, it don't make any damn sense at all.
No,
And you got to listen to
sense.
I do make sense. If I stated in the first case, if you a mother out here and you sending your daughters out to the wolves and something happened to them, God forbid, I said I hope God have grace for them. I hope nothing happened to them, because those kids, those young people or whatever adults don't know better because they're not being trained. They're not being trained properly. But if you come from a household that's training you, don't do it. Don't touch the stove and burn yourself. Don't whatever the fuck it is. And you go out there and do it, you deserve that shit.
But you
deserve it.
What I'm trying to say, Darwin.
You gonna get what's coming to you.
What I'm trying to say, Darwin, is most kids do come from out of their parents' covering. Period. It's just a natural process of life. If you read any child development book,
show me the data. Show me the data that says most kids deviate from their parents.
Just read any development book when they have terrible tools.
Whatever you saying, just because most people fuck up, it don't change my point of view.
Bruiser. Okay,
just because most women go out here and be a hoe, don't mean I gotta relax my wrath or how I feel about it. They're gonna get the same work.
You're also not God to say wrath. You're saying speak about the Bible, but God also tells you to forgive and to, and to
I didn't say I was going to. I didn't say they
love.
wasn't worthy of forgiveness. Did I say they wasn't worthy of forgiveness?
Love covers a multitude of sins,
did I
right?
Say that I wasn't going to bring my children back into the house and still feed and clothe them? Did I
that's
say
not what I'm here, but that's not what we're saying though. But you're saying that somebody deserves certain things. That's not love.
So if I can explain, if I can explain it this way,
you
right?
deserve to be assaulted.
If I can explain it this way, right?
No, you deserve to be assaulted for responding like
let's
that.
say, for instance,
you always trying to mansplain for Darwin.
Hold on, wait. So that maybe we can have some form of understanding here, because all it is a bunch of shouting back and forth. Let's say, for instance, I have a son, right? And then I tell him, hey, look, you don't play in that neighborhood over there. You don't go over there. You don't take your stuff over there. You don't go over there because those kids are terrible. They're bad over there, and a lot of bad shit can happen to you over there. Don't take your car over there because they will steal your car. And if my son says, okay, Dad, I understand, and then he takes his car over there and he gets his car stolen, here's where I will be different from Bruiser. Is I wouldn't even say that Bruiser may have even said that he wouldn't do this. I'm gonna make sure that the person who took his car is held accountable. But I'm gonna look at my son and say, see what happens to you when you don't listen? When you went over there, I told you time and time again, don't take your fucking car over there. It's gonna get stolen. And you said, fuck you, Dad, I'm gonna go over there and do it anyway. This is what happens to you when you take your car over there. That don't mean that I'm going to hate you for the rest of your life. That don't mean that I don't love you. That don't mean I'm not going to take care of you. However, you did deserve for your car to be stolen from you because you went over there acting a fool and did what you wanted to do, and it happened to you. Now, I know that there's a fine line between that and sexual assault. So I can't, there's a fine line in there. So I can't really fully advocate for any woman or any person being sexually assaulted and saying they deserve it. But I do understand his point of when you go out there into the world and you do things that is not becoming of a person who goes out into the world and you don't listen to nobody who's trying to protect you, the consequences are the consequences.